Hello everyone, Bertina Amy here, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I thought I'd show you how I made this Dollar Tree DIY Dragonfly Tutu skirt. From the Dollar Tree, I picked up this 3-pack of headbands, and I decided to use 2 of them that were closer in color. So with my daughter's birthday around the corner, I decided to go with a dragonfly theme for her birthday party. And I saw this really pretty tulle skirt with dragonflies on it on Temu, so I decided to order one and use the excess length that I don't need for myself to use for my daughter's skirt. And I go ahead and measure them out and notice they were too short to make a band for my daughter's waist. So I decided to cut off an extra piece off of another band so I could make a long enough piece to measure about 18 inches in diameter. And I just go ahead and hand sew them together. Then I cut off the excess. So then I go ahead and take 2 rolls of the lavender tulle from Dollar Tree, and I go ahead and measure them out in about 18 inches in length because I know I'm going to want to go ahead and attach them to this band. I didn't realize it until I was making it, but 2 rolls of Dollar Tree product of tulle is not going to be enough. If you want to just use only Dollar Tree materials and not buy additional materials elsewhere, you can definitely do that, and you can make the band and then use the tulle from Dollar Tree. However, definitely 2 rolls will not be enough, just simply because they only give you 3 yards. And that only covers maybe about one row, and that's not going to look very full, so you're going to want maybe at least double that. I didn't worry about it for this case just simply because I knew I was going to do another row of materials from the skirt from Temu, as well as a row from the specialty tulle off the skirt with the dragonflies all over it, so I wasn't worried about not having enough tulle from the Dollar Tree. So I realized my band doesn't look perfect, but I'm not worried about it because I know it's not going to be very obvious once the skirt's done. So I take one of the rolls of tulle and I go ahead and measure it out, and I want it to be about 18 or 19 inches in length. I just did all my measuring and cutting off camera, and I decided to go ahead and cut my pieces down to like 1-inch widths just because I wanted it to match the rest of my other pieces that I'm going to be cutting off the skirt. So here's this Temu skirt, and I actually did try it on because I wanted my daughter and I to match for her birthday. And for my skirt, I decided I only needed mine to be about knee length or so. So I go ahead and cut off the excess, which is roughly about 4 inches in length. So I was surprised this particular skirt ended up with at least 3 layers, with the innermost being a full-on lavender material, and then the outer layer being the specialty dragonfly tulle, as well as a layer of tulle in between. And so I went ahead and took advantage and used all those materials. I started out with the inner 2 materials of the lavender and the regular lavender tulle, and I cut them down into the lengths that I needed them, and I also cut them down into 1-inch strips as well. You'll notice too that the cuts of strips aren't going to look perfect, and I'm not too worried about it because it's not going to be obvious on my skirt. However, you can of course fix those cuts if you want. So once all my pieces are cut down to size, I go ahead and start pulling my band back in, and I start to count how many loops or holes are within 1 row of the band. And then I go ahead and make a decision as to whether or not I need to cut more material off of my own skirt. And I really didn't need the extra lavender material that was still on there because I planned on keeping the outermost layer of the tulle as it was with the dragonfly pieces. So I knew that was going to also be extra coverage if needed for myself. But I also liked the look of that see-through part, and I didn't need as much material. Like, I didn't need it to go up to my knee or past my knee. I needed just a certain length so that way I had enough coverage for myself. So I still had plenty of material that I could cut off from the original skirt, and so I went ahead and did that to get more material. So once I had all the pieces I needed, I went ahead and brought the band back in and took one of the pieces. I made a little point, if you will, on one end. I stuck it through one of the holes at the bottom of the band, pulled it through a little bit, made a loop out of it, and pulled the remaining tails through said loop and pulled it till it was tight. Then I repeated those steps with all the other strips, making sure to alternate between the lavender and the regular lavender tulle, as well as the spare lavender tulle from the skirt, if that makes sense. And then I keep repeating the process until I made an entire row going around the entire band. So once you've completed an entire row, your DIY tutu should look something like this. I go ahead and take it and I stretch it and I look from the back and the front, and it looks good to me so far. And so I go ahead and proceed with the next step, which is to go ahead and attach the specialty tulle with the dragonfly pieces. To be honest, I debated between attaching it the way it is or to cut them up into about 1-inch strips as well, but I opted against that option and decided to just attach them through the upper band holes to just poke through about an inch or so, and I do that all around the entire band, and I just kind of alternate between holes or whatever and make sure that it's about equally distributed by putting it through the holes, but without making knots and stuff like that, if that makes sense. And to attach permanently, I go ahead and hand sew them into place. These toddler shoes are from Temu, and I decided I was going to pair these with the outfit entirely, and I will be doing a DIY matching headband for this outfit, and I will also be having at least a photo or so off of my community tabs with the whole outfit of my daughter and I matching from the birthday party as well. So keep an eye out for that, and let me know what you think of this DIY in the comments below. I know it's not perfect, but it could easily be trimmed off to look more perfect as well off camera. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe. And until next time, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.